Like many travelers before me, I too have reached the gates of Timbuktu. Timbuktu the mysterious, Timbuktu the holder of secrets, Timbuktu the center of knowledge. Timbuktu was one of the wonders of the ancient world. It was a type of Shangri-La or Atlantis, where people thought that there was a land beyond the deserts of the Sahara, where gold lined the streets, and it was a type of sumptuous kingdom.
Beneath the scorching sun and swirling sands of the Sahara Desert lies a city whose very name invokes mystery and wonder, Timbuktu. Once a beacon of trade, knowledge, and wealth, today it is known by few, understood by even fewer. Yet, Timbuktu is not just a relic of the past. It is a testament to human ambition, ingenuity, and survival in one of the harshest environments on Earth. But how did this fabled city come to be? How could a thriving center of wealth and knowledge emerge in the heart of a seemingly inhospitable desert?
Timbuktu has different phases within its existence, and all of the groups participated in the different phases of development.
Our journey begins in the early 14th century, during the reign of the Malian emperor Mansa Musa. His wealth was so immense that his pilgrimage to Mecca reportedly devalued gold in regions he passed through. Yet Musa's most enduring legacy was not his riches, it was the flourishing of Timbuktu, a city destined to become a hub for commerce and scholarship. The first mystery of Timbuktu, however, lies not in its origin, but in what was discovered centuries later. In the early 19th century, European explorers, lured by tales of an elusive golden city, crossed the Sahara in search of wealth. What they found, instead, was an ancient city built from colossal blocks of stone and mud brick. Structures like the Jingwereber Mosque and Sankore University stood as monumental testaments to human craftsmanship, their towers defying the desert's harsh elements for centuries. The first question emerges here: how were these structures built? Some of the stones used in Timbuktu's buildings weighed up to 2 tons and were transported from quarries more than 30 miles away. Modern engineers remain puzzled by how this was achieved without advanced machinery. How could ancient builders move such massive stones across the unforgiving landscape of the Sahara? Did they possess knowledge that modern civilization has lost? This mystery is the first clue to Timbuktu's mysterious past. An engineering prowess seemingly out of place in a desert that by all accounts should have made such construction impossible.
They found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale.
But as we look deeper into Timbuktu's history, we discover something even more astonishing. By the 15th century, Timbuktu had become a thriving intellectual hub, housing some of the greatest libraries in the world. Manuscripts covering subjects such as astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and law were studied and preserved here. Scholars from across the Islamic world traveled to this remote city, transforming it into a center of learning that rivaled some of the greatest educational institutions of the time. And yet, one question lingers. How did such an intellectual center thrive in a place so isolated?
It became an intellectual center because the scholars generally were traveling with the caravans.
Was it simply Timbuktu's strategic location along trade routes, or could there be something more? Some researchers believe that Timbuktu's placement precisely at the edge of the Sahara and along the Niger River may have held deeper significance. Could ancient civilizations have chosen this location based on an advanced understanding of geography or even astronomy? A provocative theory suggests that Timbuktu might lie on one of the Earth's natural energy pathways, ley lines, that have been revered by ancient cultures across the world. Could its success as a city of knowledge and wealth have been linked to its placement on one of these energy nodes? As we ponder these questions, another mystery unfolds. Recent discoveries have revealed that many of the original manuscripts from Timbuktu's libraries, some dating back over 700 years, are missing. Where did they go? Were they destroyed or were they stolen? Whispers of a conspiracy emerge here, an organized effort perhaps by European colonial powers to seize and suppress Timbuktu's ancient knowledge. Some believe the manuscripts were hidden by local scholars to protect them from invaders, and that their secrets remain buried, known only to a select few. Today, historians and treasure hunters alike search for these lost manuscripts, hoping to unlock the wisdom they contain. But this brings us to an even greater mystery. What exactly was in these manuscripts? Could they have contained knowledge that the world wasn't ready for? Advanced technologies or philosophies that challenged the dominant worldviews of their time?
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
Were these manuscripts lost to history or intentionally kept from the world? As we explore these questions, we are reminded that Timbuktu's story is not just about the past. It is a cautionary tale about the fragility of human progress. What knowledge have we, as a civilization, lost over the millennia? Could the lost wisdom of Timbuktu have changed the course of human history? As we dive deeper into the story of Timbuktu, an unsettling thought begins to emerge. What if the true wealth of this city was not in gold, but in knowledge? And what if that knowledge was too dangerous for the world to possess? Timbuktu's scholars compiled manuscripts on topics ranging from astronomy to medicine, from theology to mathematics. By the 15th century, Timbuktu housed an estimated 700,000 manuscripts, forming one of the largest intellectual archives of the time. But here's where the mystery deepens. Much of this vast collection has vanished. Entire libraries were raided, collections disappeared, and even today, many manuscripts remain unaccounted for. Some of the surviving texts mention ideas that seem far ahead of their time, such as advanced mathematical concepts and detailed astronomical observations. There are even cryptic references to knowledge of the cosmos that surpasses what we believed was understood in the 14th and 15th centuries. Could it be that Timbuktu's scholars possessed knowledge far beyond what we know today? And if so, who or what was responsible for the suppression of this information? Some researchers point to the colonial history of Africa. As European powers began their conquest of the continent in the 19th century, they systematically dismantled much of the region's cultural heritage. And there are rumors that the French in particular seized many manuscripts from Timbuktu and shipped them back to Europe. Others suggest that these texts were deliberately hidden or destroyed because they contained information that could challenge the scientific revolution taking place in Europe. The truth remains elusive, but what we do know is that Timbuktu's intellectual legacy has only been partially uncovered. Many of the remaining manuscripts are locked away in private collections, deteriorating from neglect. Could these hidden texts hold the answers to the mysteries that still surround Timbuktu? But the intrigue does not end with the manuscripts. Archaeologists working in the region have uncovered ruins of other ancient cities near Timbuktu, suggesting the area was part of a larger, interconnected civilization. Some of the stones used in Timbuktu's structures weigh several tons and were transported from quarries miles away. How could these feats of engineering have been accomplished without modern machinery? And could there be a connection between the builders of Timbuktu and the ancient Egyptians? Adding to the mystery, some of these structures remain unfinished, as though the builders abruptly stopped their work. Why would a city so rich in knowledge and wealth suddenly fall into decline? Environmental changes may provide part of the answer. As the Sahara continued to expand, trade routes shifted, and the resources that once sustained Timbuktu dwindled. But others suggest that external forces may have played a role. Some theorists argue that jealous foreign powers or even secret societies conspired to bring about the city's downfall. One of the most persistent theories involves the lost riches of Timbuktu. According to legend, Mansa Musa's wealth wasn't only in gold. He may have possessed ancient artifacts and manuscripts from a forgotten civilization. Some believe that these treasures remain hidden beneath the city, waiting to be discovered. Could Timbuktu's greatest secret be something far more valuable than gold? As we conclude our journey, one thing is clear: Timbuktu's mysteries are far from solved. What knowledge was lost, and why? What still lies hidden beneath centuries of sand and secrecy? Recent efforts to preserve Timbuktu's heritage have been met with both success and challenge. Instability in the region and the harsh desert climate threaten the remnants of the city's once great libraries. Yet, new archaeological techniques such as ground-penetrating radar have revealed that entire sections of the city may still be buried. Could these hidden chambers hold the answers to the questions we've been seeking? Or could they contain even greater secrets? secrets that could reshape our understanding of history, civilization, and the very nature of knowledge.
Mohenjo and Daro, Indus Valley, the buildings turned to glass. The sand turned to glass, and the bodies are still laying in the street right now today, holding hands, never been scavenged by animals.
They had no historical evidence of that. There's no text. It was not mentioned in any books. It was
Really?
Yep. It was found as an accident. They found it by accident.
This is evidence of a nuclear war. That's 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire.
They explain how the devastation looks, right? They talk about how high the temperature goes, how it looked like a sun when the explosion happened, how all the vegetation was completely wiped off and there were no plants or trees growing for the next 12 to 25 years.
They describe them as weapons that once released can't be revolted or can't be turned back, and that they will obliterate any area, any city. And they say that one of the weapons can destroy any man on 3 worlds. It's crazy stuff. This is where Oppenheimer got his famous quote when he obviously tested the nuke.
I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
In the scorching deserts of southern Pakistan lies an archaeological site that defies explanation. A city frozen in time, now shrouded in mystery and the whispers of lost civilizations. Welcome to Mohenjo-Daro. Once a thriving metropolis during the height of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, this city's remains have puzzled researchers for nearly a century. But why does this city, over 4,000 years old, seem to vanish suddenly from history? Could it be that some catastrophic event wiped it off the map? Perhaps even turning parts of it into glass. Discovered in 1922 by an Indian archaeologist, R.D. Banerjee, Mohenjo-Daro is located on the banks of the Indus River. What the world came to learn through its excavations was the stunning complexity of this civilization. At its peak, Mohenjo-Daro housed as many as 40,000 inhabitants. But the real intrigue lies in its infrastructure, a grid-like city layout, advanced water drainage systems, and meticulously built homes made of baked bricks, a city so well organized that it rivals modern urban planning techniques. But who were these people, and what led to their mysterious disappearance? Let's start by looking at what they built. The city is constructed using uniform, fired bricks, with some weighing over 15 pounds. The scale of the city is impressive, spanning more than 300 hectares, roughly the size of 500 football fields. Each house was carefully positioned to align with the cardinal directions. But how did an ancient civilization develop such precision without modern technology? A central structure, known as the Great Bath, is another remarkable feature of Mohenjo-Daro. Measuring 12 meters long and 7 meters wide, the bath is built with watertight bricks and a sophisticated drainage system, indicating that water held immense significance for the people of Mohenjo-Daro. It is one of the earliest public waterworks ever discovered. But what was the purpose of this massive structure? Was it purely for hygiene, or did it have deeper, possibly spiritual, significance? Let's pause to consider the most perplexing discovery. Some sections of the ruins appear to have been subjected to extremely high temperatures, enough to melt or vitrify stone, turning it into glass. This phenomenon is known as vitrification, something typically associated with nuclear explosions or volcanic activity. Yet, no evidence of volcanic activity or natural firestorms has been found in the region. Could it be that some ancient technology, lost to time, was capable of unleashing such destructive energy? Some theorists have gone so far as to suggest that Mohenjo-Daro might have been destroyed by an ancient nuclear explosion. It sounds far-fetched, but the vitrified remains beg for an explanation. But the mysteries don't end there. Among the discoveries were over 40 human skeletons, lying in the streets and various parts of the city. These remains were not buried in the traditional sense. indicating that whatever caused the downfall of Mohenjo-Daro was sudden and violent. Many of these skeletons showed no signs of trauma, yet some were found in postures suggesting they were fleeing from something. What could have caused such mass panic and sudden death? Was it a natural disaster, a catastrophic flood, or perhaps something even more terrifying? Now, consider this. The massive stone blocks and materials used in the city's construction were not native to the immediate region. In fact, some of the stones used in Mohenjo-Daro's construction had to be transported from quarries located over 300 kilometers away. How did they manage to move such enormous stones without the aid of modern machinery? Could they have had access to technologies we still don't fully understand? This comparison often draws parallels to the pyramids of Egypt and the stone structures of South America, where similarly large stones were transported over great distances. The sheer size and weight of the materials used in these ancient cities challenge our understanding of what was possible in the ancient world. Another fascinating question arises when we consider the precision of Mohenjo-Daro's urban layout. The city's advanced planning and uniformity seem almost out of place in the ancient world. How did a society living over 4,000 years ago manage to create such an organized and structured cityscape without modern surveying tools? It's as though they were working with knowledge that far exceeded their time. Could they have been influenced by some advanced, now forgotten culture? Some theorists have even suggested extraterrestrial intervention, pointing to the similarity between Mohenjo-Daro's design and other mysterious ancient sites across the world. But what happened to this great city? Why was it abandoned so suddenly? While some archaeologists believe that environmental factors, such as flooding from the nearby Indus River, might have played a role, the evidence of extreme heat and vitrified ruins adds an ominous layer to the mystery. Could the people of Mohenjo-Daro have been the victims of an ancient catastrophe so powerful that it erased them from history almost instantly? As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Mohenjo-Daro, we must also consider the broader context of the Indus Valley civilization. This civilization was one of the largest of the ancient world, spanning parts of modern-day Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. Yet despite its vast size, we know shockingly little about its people, their language, or their beliefs. Their script remains undeciphered, and their disappearance from history is as sudden as it is puzzling. And what about the artifacts found here? Pottery, jewelry, and even toys have been unearthed, but perhaps the most enigmatic discovery is the so-called dancing girl, a bronze statuette of a young woman that seems to exude a sense of sophistication and artistic flair far beyond what we would expect from a society of this age. Who was she? What role did she play in this mysterious civilization? Now, what could have caused a thriving civilization to vanish seemingly overnight? Let's begin with the most debated theory, the possibility of an ancient nuclear catastrophe. At first glance, the idea of nuclear technology existing over 4,000 years ago seems impossible. Yet, the vitrified ruins, sections of stone turned to glass by intense heat, suggest that something extraordinary happened here. In the 1970s, physicist Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, who led the Manhattan Project during World War II, was asked if the nuclear bomb tested in 1945 was the world's first atomic explosion. His response was chilling. Well, yes, in modern times. Was he hinting at an ancient nuclear event? Could Mohenjo-Daro have been the site of such an explosion? Adding to the intrigue is the lack of traditional warfare evidence in the city. No mass graves, no clear signs of battle, no damage to the structures that would suggest a large-scale conflict. Instead, the bodies found in the city were seemingly untouched by violence, lying in the streets as though something much more sinister and sudden occurred. Could this have been an accident, a release of untamed energy, or something more deliberate, akin to a weapon of unimaginable power? Then, there's the question of the city's eerie disappearance. Unlike other ancient cities that gradually declined over time, Mohenjo-Daro appears to have been abandoned swiftly, almost as if its inhabitants knew that staying would lead to their demise.